What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Bundesliga career mode. This is episode number 65. We're starting stage of stuff on the back of our win over FC Köln with Borussia Mönchengladbach away from home after I just notched up my 100th win as Bielefeld manager. And heading into this game, I had one of those moments where you sort of sit back and reflect on things, you know, when you're doing an RTG career mode save. When you start off, there are always certain grounds that you can't stand going to because you know you're probably going to lose, because at the point where you start the save, you're a far weaker side. And if you remember at the beginning of the save, Borussia Mönchengladbach were our main rivals, and coming here was like a death sentence. I mean, we got battered here like on 3 separate occasions in the first couple of years. And it was always like, oh man, Borussia Mönchengladbach away, this is going to be a tough game. But you notice as the seasons go by, when you start to get better and you start to compete with these teams and you start to get better than these teams, it's a really cool feeling when you're about to go into the game and press the X button or whatever the button is on Xbox. Sorry, Xbox guys, I've never had an Xbox before. You know, is it A? I think it's A actually. I can't remember, to be honest. But still, when you're about to play the game and load up the game, you think to yourself, oh, okay, Borussia Park away, Borussia Mönchengladbach, let's see how we get on. You know, and it's kind of a really cool moment, you know, because you realise the amount of progression you've made, because you'd have it every single season in an RTG, say, where you go into it and you think, oh god, you know, Everton away, Goodison Park, never play well here, Wolves away, Molineux, Bayer Leverkusen, Bayer Arena, Napoli, Stadio San Paolo, whatever, and you think, oh man, this is going to be a tough game. But when you get a few seasons in, you're like, oh, okay, alright, okay, here we go. We got, I don't know, Valencia away from Sty. You know, like you start to think, okay, I can do this. I can beat this team because I've beaten them before and I've got a good record against them now. And that's how I feel now going to these games against Mönchengladbach. At the start of the series, these guys were our main rivals. I struggled against them significantly. They dominated in most of the games I had against them. But now, I feel really confident when I face them that I'm going to win. We're on a great winning run right now with Arminia Bielefeld. And you remember a couple of years ago at this ground, we won here 5-0 on a penultimate game of the season to take the title race to the final day. So coming here, I wasn't phased. I wasn't worried. I felt confident that whilst it was a really open and action-packed and even first 45 minutes, we'd look pretty good when going forward. And 39 minutes in, Theo got his second goal of the season to put us in the front right before the break, and we had ourselves the lead heading into half-time. Hubner took such a long time to get going last season. Same this year as well. He's a slow burner. He takes time to get going in the season. Last year had a great end to the campaign though, hoping this season will be the exact same after just his second goal in 10. 64 minutes in, the hosts would get back on level terms, and probably deservedly so. Really even games won in Mukoko, the German wonder kid. As we know, so many amazing wonder kids in world football right now. It's such an exciting time to be a football fan right now, with so many amazing young talents and teenage wonder kids coming through. Mukoko is one of the best at Borussia Dortmund. In this game, he's moved on to Mönchengladbach and he scored their leveler to make it 1-1 as well. 12 minutes to go, still tied at 1-1. To be honest, really even game this one. I knew it would be a tough one, but I still felt confident we could win it, and with 10 minutes to go, we would. And it was an unlikely hero as well. In the summer, I decided to extend his contract, not sell him in the summer window, because I mentioned it, I like this guy as a squad player. First 2 seasons, injury prone, got a lot more game time back then. Now, he rarely plays, love this camera angle, rarely gets minutes, but when he does, he never lets me down. He's just such a solid squad player to have, you know. And Finn Ole Becker comes off the bench, the forgotten man here at Bielefeld, but not forgotten in this game because he bangs in the game winner. Really even game this though, very, very tightly contested. I think a draw would have been the right result, but in the end, we got the rub of the green right towards the end. Becker with the finish, the game winner, and the 3 points to extend our winning run with Arminia Bielefeld. And like I said, going into the game, like in the first couple of seasons, I would have been like, oh god, here we go again, Borussia Park are going to lose like 3 or 4-0, but now, even though the games at times can be tight, we've got a really good record against Mönchengladbach now, there's no doubt about it. They started off as our main series rivals, but now I'd say we've overtaken them in terms of ability in this team, and I think that's such a great feeling when you're doing a long RTG, and you notice there's a time where you've actually surpassed what were a big hurdle for you in the first season or two. It's always a really cool feeling when you know you managed to overcome what were one of your main competitors. Anyway, following game, this was Spurs at the Schuker Arena. Heading to this game, match day 5, Champions League group stage. As we know, qualification already in the bag after a 100% record. 4 wins in 4, so heading into this game, only a point was needed to guarantee top spot with a game to spare. But I wanted to see if I could extend the winning run, both in the league and in Europe as well. And what a start to the game as well. He's our bench striker this year, coming in for Kolo Muani. It's safe to say Randall was a great B option for Jamie Llewellyn. This guy is just as good. What a goal from Adeyemi. That was an incredible strike there, in off the underside of the crossbar, Tony Yeboah style. And we have the lead on Antonio Conte's Spurs. And 36 minutes in, a chance to make it 2. Should have done so as well. Adeyemi looking for his praise. Great save at the near post there, as we still led by 1. But in the first half, it was all Bielefeld. Spurs needed to win this game to have any chance of topping the group. Come the end of 6 games, we only needed a point. But I wasn't just playing for the point, I was looking for the win in this game. And I wanted to extend that winning run. And 43 minutes in, when he scored his first goal for the club in the reverse fixture in North London, he scores his 4th goal of the group right before the break. I tell you what, this guy's been a fantastic signing this year. I talked about Adeyemi a moment ago. There was a great backup striker for Jamie Llewellyn this season coming in from Roma. But Suat Serdar, what a bargain. Signing for undervaluation as our new backup CM, as Jonas Hoffmann's now in the reserves. He's been brilliant. 4 goals in 5 in the Champions League group stage as he doubles our lead and makes it 2-0. In the second half, Spurs did start attacking, start coming at me. Like I said, they needed to win this game to have any chance whatsoever of getting themselves the top spot in the group. Otherwise, they'd be resigned to second place. And whilst they would grab a goal late on in the second half to try and get back in this one, we held on for the 3 points. So 5 straight wins in the group, 100% record maintained, and it does mean whilst we only needed a point in this game, we do guarantee top spot with the W with a game to spare, and that is such a huge luxury. And I know I talked about it in recent episodes, and I know it sounds really obvious when I say it, but getting qualification in the bag as soon as possible, I can't tell you how important that is, because in December, as you'll know, there are so many games to play. Ironically, the Bundesliga is a minor exception because of the big winter break they have, and of course it's a 34 game league season as opposed to a 38 like the other major European leagues. But it is still crucial knowing that in match day 6, start of December, big period of the season, you often find out, who's the real deal around the month of December. To be able to rest all of your players on match day 6 and qualification in the bag, and in this case, top spot in the bag as well. Massive bonus, knowing, especially if you're going away from home, you haven't got to worry about fatigue or potential injuries to your starters, nothing like that. You can rest your entire team because the result is absolutely meaningless. Anyway, third and final game of today's episode. Excited for this one. RB Leipzig. Last year, our closest threat to the Bundesliga title. We held them off, we're crowned champions. If you remember last season at this ground, I had my heaviest defeat of this series against this team. We lost 7-0 to RB Leipzig here at the Stuttgart Arena last season, but we had the last laugh by winning the championship. But what I didn't want to do was have a repeat performance, repeat result, end our winning run here against Leipzig. But instead, win the big game here, keep ourselves clear of the chasing pack, and show we're a much stronger team. And we are now the best team in Germany. We're certainly feeling like that after 5 straight wins in the Champions League group stage, after our big win over Gladbach, talking about the progression we made since the start of the series, winning the title last year and leading the way in the race to retain it this season as well. 37 minutes in, we led by 2, and I was just in complete control at this point. Leipzig hadn't got going whatsoever, and like I talked about at the start of today's episode, one of those moments where you realise just how much progression you've made in that short space of time. Against Gladbach, I realise now we're far better than them and we're a much better outfit. And I think it is safe to say now we've become the best team in Germany after Bayern Munich struggling season last year, finishing in mid-table, and the big teams now, well, let's just say struggling to keep pace with us after our winning run here. We're 3-0 up on Leipzig right before the break, and 60 minutes in, a chance to make it 4. Florian knew how bending one, great save, kept it at 3-0, but really from the very first whistle, I was just in attack mode. I've really felt this season I've been very aggressive. We had the loss to Hoffenheim, but in every other game, I've just been going at the teams, especially the big teams as well, and trying to prove we are indeed the best team in the Bundesliga. Leipzig would get a goal back with 18 minutes to go, but as we led by 2, I couldn't see them causing them any problems, and thankfully they would not. Gerard Moreno gave them a glimmer of hope, but it's all it proved to be. Consolation, 3-1 victory, another win notched up. The winning run continues in the Bundesliga and Europe. And you look at the stats here, I think it's safe to say this might sound cocky, this might sound arrogant, but I think we're the best team in Germany now. Bayern Munich's reign is over as the best team in the Bundesliga. Bielefeld have now become the strongest team in the country, and the league table backs it up. Champions last season, 6 points clear of Borussia Dortmund. We approached the halfway point, and 8 clear of Bayern Munich as well. There's no doubt about it. After 41 goals in 13 games and 11 wins on the board already, we are now looking like the best team in Germany. But that will end today's episode of the Bundesliga Career Mode, guys. Big thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of the Bundesliga Career Mode very soon.